What is going on, my peoples, and my plant people? So today we're going to be doing a tour. I went down to Orlando, Florida. Crazy that I got this on, actually. It is totally random. I definitely did not plan this, but yeah, I went down to Orlando, and of course, y'all know my two favorite plant stores when I go down there is Ecuagenera USA, which is where we're about to go and explore. And then of course, I'll make a video on the other one because I don't want it to be too long. I want it to kind of be simple, right? So I went down to Ecuagenera USA. First of all, how y'all doing? Okay. I'm doing all right. I am, kind of cleaning up and stuff like that. I want to make a video for the video to add to the video, you know what I mean? So I'm doing real good, to tell you the truth. I got some plants popping. I moved some things around and whatnot. So stuff is looking real good. But yeah. So went down to Ecuagenera because I just love to go down there. I love that plant. I mean, it's not even like a plant store. It's like a plant buildings or whatnot. When you're in there, it's just amazing. If you've never been down there, I had a chance to. Truly, if you get down to Orlando and you have the time, you can make it. I would definitely say go down there. It is definitely a sight for sore eyes to see how these individual people can make us so happy at the end of the day with all these plants and the plant care. And you just see maybe good plants that you've never seen before in your life, and some new plants that are coming out there that's not just yet hit the market, or some baby plants or some large plants. So when I go down there, I'm able to have the chance to pick out the plants that I want specifically. Some plants may be like baby plants, and I can, they may charge like a big price for it or whatnot. But if I can find like the smaller version of it, which you'll see something that I actually did. And typically that's what I tell people. I like growing plants from small to big, so I'm okay with doing that. I know that some people just like the big leaf plants or whatnot, but even though I have even a plant room, I'm still trying to throw things away. Not really throw things away, I'm kind of weeding out plants here and there. So it's cool for me to kind of have smaller version of plants and stuff like that. So whenever I have the ability and the chance to, I get smaller versions like Anthuriums. Like Anthuriums can really grow huge, you know what I mean? Like Anthuriums can be really, really big. So for me, I like to get Anthuriums smaller because they're gonna grow big, right? Ideally, if you keep the plants healthy and watered and fertilized and in good soil or good leca or good, whatever you keep it in, eventually it will get big if it is a plant that grows big. But I mean, if you got like a dwarf plant or something like that, ideally, right? But there are just some plants that, you give it a little time and it's gonna grow huge, okay? So for me, whenever I go down there, I don't try to get the biggest plant possible, right? I try to get a small to medium plant, something that's in good price. If I can get them to knock down $10, $15, $20, then I'm gonna do it. I'm a bargain shopper, ideally. I like to get these plants at a really good price. I have a lot of plants. So for me, I'm not trying to spend buku cash to get plants that I'm going to have to wait on anyways. And especially plants that have to acclimatize and stuff like that. So these are things that I'm thinking about as I'm buying these plants, and it makes it work. And I'm not trying to buy every plant always, right? Usually whenever I'm buying plants, unless it's like something for like my birthday, or I just got it right then and there, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just got it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna spend $200-300 on plants. Other times I'm just like, hey, healthy for me, honestly, I'm going to spend at least 100, right? At bare minimum, I'm going to spend 100. But that can be the difference between buying like the smaller plants and you getting maybe about 4 plants, probably, to you only getting maybe 1 or 2, right? So this time around, I didn't have a big purchase, I don't know what to call it, like a hunger for it, okay? So what I end up doing is really thinking, okay, what plant did I really want? So I'm actually going to play the video now because I want to talk about something towards the end, because I actually did buy a wish list plant, but I'm going to tell you why it's a wish list plant, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play it, and y'all just enjoy the tour. You know, grab you something that you can, you know, get you a chunk of something, get you something that you can pot up or whatnot. Maybe you cleaning or something like that. Maybe you driving or something. So I'm gonna give you a little tour of what I see. And I walk kind of fast, so I might have to slow it down or something like that. But I really wanted to give a really good tour of Ecuagenera USA. And when you go, it may change up, because it changed up when I went too. But some things are going to be similar, but that's just, you know, that's just how it goes. They're a business, it's understandable. So definitely go ahead, check that out, and make sure you come back though. You got to come back to see the plants, something that I got. So you go ahead, go on to Ecuagenera USA. I'll see you when you get back. Alright, so I came a little closer because I don't know why I was so far back. But I hope that you enjoyed that. Definitely love going there. It's like going to a tropical forest, like a botanical garden. It's everything. It really is everything. So for me, yeah. So I told myself at the end of my graduation, or when I graduated, I told myself that I would get myself a particular plant. And if you can't remember this, then you already know what I'm about to show you. And I know this plant has been popular, unpopular, but for me, I think it is something that when I started off, I said I'm gonna get it for myself. So that's just what I did. This plant here is just a symbol of me graduating, ultimately. So every time I see this plant, it's like I'm taking care of it because I made it somewhere, you know what I mean? Or I did something and I accomplished something, and this is the reward of. Is that the last thing that I'm gonna get for myself for graduating? No, of course not. But this is something that when maybe about halfway through me doing this, I was like, I'm gonna get that plant because, or not because of, but I'm gonna get that plant when I graduate. Like I wanted it, but I didn't get it, but I'm gonna get it when I graduate. So this plant here is, if you can recognize it without me telling you, I won't say anything. I'll give you a couple minutes to try to see what this is. And y'all know I love the long leaves, so it was nothing for me to get it, and you'll know why I did get it. And it is in the video or whatnot. If you do not know what this is and you are new to plants and you can't recognize it, because honestly I wouldn't recognize it if it did not have the name on it. You know what I mean? Ideally I would, but 100% no. Maybe about 80%. Maybe about 80%. This here is the Philodendron spiritus-sancti. Okay, so maybe about 2 years ago, at least for me, this plant was very, very popular, and it was so popular that it was expensive, right? And I think the more expensive plants, of course, become popular. I think that that's just what it is, right? And the reason that this was so expensive is because there were only limited of these plants, okay? When I tell you that this plant is, I guess it's difficult for people to grow. Okay, so what had to have happen is they probably more than likely clone this plant. So I wouldn't imagine that I have like a cutting from. I would more so say that this is a TC plant, a tissue culture plant, right? And what that means is this plant was cloned from like leaf sample or something like that, because plants can be cloned. A lot of your plants you wouldn't even recognize is cloned, okay? So somewhere in somebody's lab, they put it in some liquids, then put it in some gels, and now we got this plant, okay? So I would imagine that this is that. The reason that I'm okay with it is, first of all, it lowers the price on plants. So if you can see in the video, on either side, they were pretty much hanging up. This plant was pretty plentiful, okay? And Ecuagenera sells this for like less than, no, it's about $100 I think I paid for this right here. And for me, easy money, right? Because first of all, it's a spiritus. So this plant I think will be popular for a good long time, especially when people start to grow it and start to really get those spiritus leaves and things like that. And that's what really makes me love this plant so much, is because of the leaves shape and whatnot. I will pop up a mature spiritus, and you know, for some people it rattles their bones, for other people it's a you know, but for me it gets me going, okay? And I can remember halfway through my graduation or school, I saw this plant and thought, wow, what an amazing plant. And then the backstory behind it, you know, them finding it in the wild, and only in the wild was it doing pretty okay, as much as, you know, plants do in the wild with, you know, different birds and monkeys and things. You know, those animals don't see plants, of course, like how we do and stuff like that. They just, their homes, their animal, I mean, their food and stuff like that. So for those type of animals, you know, it's just a whatever, you know. But for plant collectors and hobbyists, this plant is kind of a staple plant, I would like to say. I believe, it wasn't so much as I believed in the hype. I just saw it and thought, wow, I want to get in on this, because this looks gorgeous. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Everything about it makes me feel good about it. So I now have in possession spiritus-sancti. I'm loving it so far. I'm going to keep it in this container, this Equa container, maybe for a couple months, so I can let it acclimatize or whatnot. And then of course I'll put it in some chunky mix and possibly a pole. One reason that, of course, I love to go into stores and grab my plants as opposed to ordering it from like big box stores is I get to choose exactly I get to choose exactly my plant, right? So with that, this one right here, as you if you can kind of see that, there are actually two in this one. So I technically bought one spiritus-sancti for like $50, right? So if you kind of think of it that way, and if you look at it, it has like area roots right there, so that lets me know that it's healthy above the substrate or the median or whatnot. I kind of don't like their substrate. It just kind of look like mud to me. And then they like to put a lot of fertilizer balls on there and stuff like that. So, but I mean, it grows. They seem to like water every day or whatnot, which is something I don't really have to do. I'm actually keeping this in my IKEA greenhouse. I would not dare put it out here just yet. The reason that I wouldn't do that is because where I got it from, being Ecuagenera, it's just humidity in there. When you go in there, you're gonna be humidified everywhere around your body. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not like they spray humidity everywhere. It's plants everywhere. You know what I mean? In a greenhouse, and they're watering plants pretty much every day, right? So I want to give it the same conditions so that I can benefit the best out of having this plant. Okay, so for me is to emulate the conditions in which it was in so that I can grow it to perfection or whatnot. Still looking around some of the leaves and stuff like that, because I definitely think that like I'm gonna take some of it off, take some of them off. And I know some people go, you just put this plant directly with your other plants. I did, because this plant is just that important to me that I need to get this in the right conditions. I didn't have a container just to put it in, so I did with what I had, right? And then I just kind of washed this plant, and you know, with your hands you can, you know, clean stuff off if need be, or just kind of feel around on the plant. But for me, like I said, I'm just excited to even have this plant, okay? And like I said, when I see this plant, I graduated. You know what I mean? And if this is your first time here, and I know it's kind of late in the video, but I graduated with my master's degree in marriage and family therapy. So, yeah, hooray to me. And now my spiritus-sancti. I did grab another plant on walking out. I just saw it and just was like, wow, this plant looks amazing as an adult. So I got the baby version of it. And it's funny because when I grabbed it, she, you know, hit the price on it and was going to charge me like adult price. And, you know, looked at the plant and was like, because I bought the spiritus first and then I bought this one, the other one. So she looked at it and was like, no, I'll charge you like a Zeland price or whatnot. So she charged me a little bit less than the normal price or whatnot. So of course I'm gonna take a deal, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go and get that plant right here. So this wee baby right here is the Anthurium crystallinum and luxurium. They have another name for it. If I can find that name, then I'll go ahead and I'll put it down there because I don't remember it at all. But the bigger version of this plant is absolutely amazing. When I saw it, I know it's like dark something, but I can't remember it quite right now. But they call it like dark something. So I'm housing this with my anthuriums in the kicker, okay? Because it is a smaller plant, and it's a ceiling, and like I said, it's humidity in there. I'm putting it in there, okay? This plant for me is pretty dope. I love luxurians, so I thought a crystallinum with the luxurian just has to be even more dope, because I have the luxurians and the radicans mix, right? The lux radicans, but the luxuriant and the crystallinum. One thing I learned about luxurians are those are very tough plants. I definitely recommend those plants for people who are just starting off, because luxurians, and they definitely have come down in price, are very, very tough plants. And that's saying that they have harder leaves, they are forgiving as far as watering. Yeah, they don't need much to survive a lot, right? And for me, I saw the adult version, and if I see it, of course, I'm gonna put it on the screen if I haven't already. That plant looked absolutely amazing, right? So this was just another caveat to the success that I got with graduating, and it's just being one of the plants that I got for myself upon graduation and for the purpose of graduating. So, and I knew I was gonna go down there. The purpose of me actually going down there was to have a uncle and niece day, which was very successful. I had a lot of fun, she had a lot of fun, and yeah, I love to make the best of my time. But I also know that I was gonna go to Ecuagenera because I'm a plant head. So yeah, that's pretty much it, really. I appreciate you guys for sticking through and staying with me up until now. I mean, like, even just following the channel if you have not followed yet. Hopefully this gives you the to go, you know what, let me follow this young handsome guy. And I appreciate you. I definitely appreciate you. I'm a different people always see down in the comment, my plant Lux, Julian, Carla's always down in there. Both of my Kathys. I greatly appreciate you guys. Always, you know, commenting and holding conversation with me about plants and things that you've seen and your experience and stuff like that. So I greatly appreciate it. And of course, I hope you come back, because we always got more stuff to talk about with plants. And if you have anything that you want me to talk about, definitely drop it down and I can try to make a video on it if I got it. If I don't got it, then I don't got it. You know what I mean? Like, it's certain plants that I just don't have that I can't make videos for. But I mean, monsteras, philodendron, anthuriums, I got them. You know what I mean? So definitely put it down in the description if you want me to make some videos on something. I'll definitely go ahead and knock it out for you. And yeah, as always, appreciate you again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Hope you have a good weekend. And good things gonna happen for you. You just gotta wait on it. And when it seems like it's getting bad, that's when the good stuff is gonna happen after you get through it. So yeah, stay prayed up, stay wished up. Make sure you take care of your mental, because you know I'm a mental person. And yeah, I'm gonna see you on the next one. I know I'm gonna see you on the next one. And as always, love, peace, and plants.